You know why you clicked on this video, unless there's something in the thumbnail that I'm not aware of. But today we're going to be drawing on Magma. My plan is to just draw other people's characters to see if I can give them a little bit of a blessing today. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. So, for the majority of the time I was joining rooms and leaving them, it honestly was really hard to find a person that was online but had a finished enough work that I could copy their style. So eventually I found this person who was drawing this really cute light blue cat person, and I instantly fell in love with the charm and just cute style. I dove straight in. I had so much fun making the hair wild and messy. Honestly, there's something about making hair voluminous that I love to draw. It's very free, and there's so many ways that you could do it. I did have to be careful because the character was like a cat, so they weren't wearing clothes, but my style always ends up making them look more like humans. So I just had to make sure I balanced her cat-like features with her humanish hair. After that, I jumped straight into color, and I ended up changing the eyes. They weren't they were kind of creepy, and they did not fit my style. I'm so happy I changed the eyes. I think it just looks better. As I started coloring, the person who I was copying was being so nice and just so supportive. Honestly, it was really nice drawing next to them. I basically ended up color picking from their OC, and I don't know, there's not a lot to say about this piece except that I love the original artist. I love the style, and I'm so happy that they let me draw their little thing. I will say that one of the other artists ended up drawing a black line over my drawing, and I didn't do anything about it. I just kind of let it happen and continued drawing. Eventually, when I was taking the final screenshot, I hid their layer from my computer's view, but yeah, I just drew with a black line over my art the entire time. I was having a hard time finding people's OCs to draw, so I eventually ended up joining an entire jam that was dedicated to drawing the same OC, which made things a lot easier. I really liked how simplistic the other person's Wolfie character was, and I really wanted to stylize it, and I love how it turned out. It was very simple, but at the same time, just really enjoyable to look at. I think this is one of the shorter drawings that I did. It did not take me very long to do this, maybe 7 minutes, I'm not sure. I might have done more with the feet if I had put some more time into it, but I really wanted to start coloring because honestly the color scheme was so simple. It was red and like a warmish shadows to the fur. I eventually gave it blue eyes. The original didn't have irises that I could see, and so I couldn't tell what eye color they had. So I gave her blue eyes because I honestly thought that they would contrast the most to the bright red. But yeah, I added some cell shading, some highlights to the eyes. I probably could have done more for the tail, but I did not. But yeah, it was really fun. I liked doing this Wolfie character. I take it back, this drawing took me the least amount of time, partially because it was so simple, but I tried making my own live art jam to try and attract people to me instead of me trying to find them. It didn't work out as much as I wanted it to, but I did get this one person who drew this grumpy cat with a top hat. It was pretty simple. I had a lot of fun just with the simplisticness of this grumpy cat. I ended up giving him a tie because I thought he would look so dapper with his little top hat. And colors were pretty simple. I ended up making his fur not straight black because I didn't want the line art to disappear. I think the person who drew their cat had a really fun color scheme. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. Thank you to the only person that got on my live art jam. I hope you see this one day. And I like your cat. It's very cute. Eventually, I got tired of trying to find people's OCs to draw, so I decided to join one of the base live art jams and draw my mascot on just one of the bases. I have a hard time. I've never tried joining one of these base art jams because every time that I did, all the layers were taken up or you had to ask for like special permission, and it was just too complicated. But this one I could jump straight in. There was like already a bunch of free layers, and so I got to just have fun creating a chibi version of Kitty Lawn. If I had had more room, I might have drawn Brush and Bleat, but yeah, that probably would have been too stressful for the amount of space I had. But yeah, I love my mascot. I spent a day designing her for this YouTube channel, and honestly, I love the way she turned out. It's quite interesting though because her color scheme used to be purple, but the more that I went into it, the more I realized I wanted a dark red. I have videos of me coloring her light purple for the first time, but as I played around with colors, I realized I wanted pink and I wanted dark red, and it worked well with the blue. So yeah, that's about it. I like this piece. Honestly, I think it's cute. I think it's simplistic, and it just makes me really happy. Somehow I'll find a way to use it for YouTube stuff because it still is my mascot. I think the only downside is there was somebody who was trolling us with the red paint bucket, and yeah, that kind of got distracting. I almost started coloring my person red because I color picked the wrong spot, but after a while they stopped, and I got to go back to shading. So this one I actually drew a couple days ago, so I have to get into past Avalon's mind and figure out what I was thinking while I drew it. All I knew is that I was browsing around on Magma to find people's OCs to draw, and I found this really cute little yellow girl. And when I asked the artist if I could draw her, she said, "I'm not quite done, but sure." So as I was drawing, the biggest problem was I was constantly looking up and making sure I was following her lead right. And every time I'd look up, there'd be something new. There'd be another shirt, or some colorful socks, or overalls, or a scarf, or etc. It was kind of fun, but also chaotic at the same time. I loved it though. I honestly loved the artist's style. I eventually learned that they were drawing with the mouse pad on a computer, which I admire that it takes serious dedication to be able to do that, but her art still turned out really cute. And I personally like how my version of her OC turned out as well. It was very colorful, and just another chance for me to play around with Magma's tools. I eventually did a few others, like I drew this koi fish, and it was really fun. A lot of people were drawing fish, so we had our own little aquarium. I think it's very colorful and I like it. I loved the color scheme for this one. I don't quite know if it's a reference to a TV show or if it really is just an OC, but I think the artist did an amazing job with colors. This one was fun. I did the one that's fully colored, and in the end, me and my new friend ended up drawing a bunch of turtles, and it was great. I loved it. So yeah, that's the end of this video, but I had a lot of fun drawing other people's OCs and just hopefully bringing them a little love and light from my representation of their art. I hope to maybe do it sometime again in the future, but for now, that's all.